Hello. Oh! Today I am going to discuss the exact way for us to study the social psychology of dichotomy, and that is certainly a criminal justice issue among men. Of course, the main way to explain dichotomy at its best, most respectfully, is inspecting this form of a sort of Madonna-Whore complex, where it is about cracking of the total amount of sex and religion, purity, keen on what has been precisely known as two non-overlapping fractions. One is the light, and the other is the darkness. Here, social psychology plays out the clever workings of freedom, the unconsciousness, or the unconscious processes of a larger society, so that a celebrity like Madonna will gain power through social institutional life, plus ultimate power over our subconscious, over another's general perception even, of what is right and wrong. Several terms used are classical dichotomy, and that's mostly referring to economics. Another one is false dichotomy, and lastly, domestic-public dichotomy, that which divides men and women's given assumed roles in society. Whore versus skilled musician that gains respectability. This has become a very deep topic for many psychiatrists, as there are this wonderful awarenesses for psychologists in how to treat the user of dichotomy with psychiatry. Dichotomy used for power could be sociopath or psychopath with no consciousness, a level of culture of narcissism. Culture of Narcissism being an excellent book that I recommend that you go buy. With therapy and prescription would be effective for the case being studied. We have a situation of attribution where social cognition in social psychology will consist of respective fields like the criminal justice arena. In addition to the food and beverage industry where, let's say, a bar brawl may occur with some featured rape by coercion, buying the soon-to-be victim a drink to look like the good guy before getting ripped into the pool table where people are playing pool. To relate to these industries, many may not quite say that it goes beyond entertainment, because the Madonna horror culture is definitely a great example. But specifically looking at potential cures, this is virtually impossible to do, because we have a society that lives off of sickness, and it does not classify such battles as noteworthy to take, to this extent, worthy trust factors. I think because when you're talking on reliability, your doctors and your lawyers are engaging in these activities. I also think that a wonderful explanation is to inspect this, moreover, by making community connections with nature-to-nature meanings. That is something that's very down-to-earth. For each person's dichotomy in psychology, we conduct a study on what families in the gay culture versus families in the straight culture and other relationships see as social justice being served. Basically, what is realistic for morality and ending corruption? For instance, in the rule of law, can dichotomy be seen as duality, involving two people, one of the good and one of the bad, when the one of the good is capable of bad and plans on doing bad because of their dichotomy, and one that is of the bad plans on doing good because they can do that according to their dichotomy? You have mostly pain and pleasure asserted alone, or with another as a team of players, such as group solidarity involving sexual liberation via gay rape, pornography, or brutality in the adult material industry. Because if there was an arrest, it does not put to stop the group solidarity of men having rape as a pastime for expression of what they think is quote-unquote seductive and attractive, inevitably encountered in their incarcerations, meaning prison life, that which dichotomy as social psychology is shared. We require specialized, ideal, social-based ethicists to be scholar practitioners to look at mental illnesses in these social contexts, involving, of course, men. What is a great inference to the Madonna-Whore culture is that in the social psychological masculinity makeup, she uses bisexuality as her contravance into getting most anybody of sexual orientation. Whether it was the competitive fighters or not in the gay porn, not the truth really that there is goodness, we must remain to the facto that there is a dichotomy of whorishness, behaviorism. One could have lied to get hired for the exhibition in the porn clip to be the porn star and then turn around and steal or thieve when making the actual impression that there is no criminal record, pardon me, other than we're doing this for entertainment purposes and it's all fantasy. This is something we can conclude. Further, indeed, we look at the goodness, the familiarity of image in the human body and personality moral code set upon the entertainment industry that we get paid if we entertain well, so it's okay to break laws. This suggests indeed, as well, that the goodness is located in being focused, polished in their, quote, responses to the aggravated situation, unquote. That survival of the fittest instills sharpness, ego-competitiveness, where sincere problems crop up as an appeal to an element of aggression with the potential for violence. If we are thus elected to say that the views in society do not produce people's behavior per se, then it is only one victory over another, and that is attitude of lies. More importantly, self-control and staying focused on the entertainment alone. I do not know what you think about that, seeing there are many times we think of what is socially accepted and what is not. But if somebody is getting paid a lot of money and they're getting away with crime, it somehow makes it justified. The convictions involved are what seems to hold the good in place. Social contexts are like the canvas for what is real, like the life of attitudes and the awareness of what self means on the landscape of reality. We promote this perspective that individual behaviorism is motivated by social and cultural factors. The premise for a canvas alone would be the attitudes involved. I know this is a creative way to look at it. It's kind of like the brush stroke of really good paint. But you have created a story through the institutes that are provided in your social norms. Do you think I am onto something when I say this, though? I mean, is this just made up? Do you think you could find a different element to the story of dichotomy? I am honestly trying to go deeper than what immediately would meet the common eye. I think you can have inspection of this at every angle, because if the story tells us that there is much to know, but it's being hidden because of costumes and makeup and muscles and porn and fake sex, we are not clear on who is right and who is wrong, or who is strong or who is even weak at that time. Then it appears to be reasonable to, of course, call it disputable matters. And I agree, disputable matters it certainly would become. You are very bright to mention that there are assumptions and said probability of predictions, so anything would be possible. What I would anticipate is that you do not readily accept cause and effect, that which this nature of relationship is unclear and gives no harmful accuracy of eyewitnesses, requirements. This makes connection to reliability sources, etc. However, if we do not agree, that is very good for the reason that we can inspect deeper, on what the sort of attributional inferences processes lies beneath the surface of the relation between confidence, certainty and accuracy of reporting what needs to be located in the eyewitness identification research laboratory. Here, there is going to be wonderful deliberation. So, next time you watch porn, next time you marvel over artists, I want you to think that there is a dichotomy, and there are some things that you just might not know.